Alright, I've got the both outside pieces clamped onto the center section in here. I used a piece of plywood on this side to that side there, and that was, let me turn this over, and that was to make sure that this whole surface stays parallel. I didn't want it, going up like that. So I clamped the plywood half on this side and half on this side of this split, and that would maintain it flat. And I did the same thing on this side. And you can see here's the seam. This is what's going to get V'd out, and then it'll be filled with the micro balloons and the resin, and then a little bit of gel coat over the top. Then it'll be sanded just like I did in the center section here. Do the same thing on this side. Let me flip it over again. And now I've glassed on this seam here, and then this seam here is all glassed. This side's done. So I'm going to take this off. This was done yesterday. And take some of these clamps here off. One hand again. There's a little bit of resin I think leaked under here, so I may have a problem getting that piece of masonite off, especially with one hand. Not bad, just a little bit on the edge. Okay. Now I also put a piece of wood on this side and a piece of wood on the top to clamp it, to protect the fiberglass from the clamps, but also to align the two pieces here and here this way, so I didn't want it going one here and then one up above it. So it kind of squeezed the two ends together. Take that off. Okay, so what we have here now, that's what this looks like from the back. This piece here is going to be glassed in. It's going to be trimmed a little bit smaller. It doesn't quite fit, so it's going to be trimmed a little smaller. And then it'll be glassed like that, and then that gap will be filled in, just like all the other gaps would. And, it's not too bad. See how it's all lining up. All lines up pretty good here. The lines line up there. It'll be all filled and sanded. And then this piece, like I say, see it from this side. It's got to get trimmed about just a hair. It's not quite fits. But that'll be like that, and then we'll just fill the gap and I'll have the whole dash. And it'll be time to mock up some gauges, just find out where I want to put them. While I'm sitting in the car, I'll just put in some maybe some little round cutouts, tape them in place, and just move them around to see where I want them, and they'll simulate the gauges. And then when I find the spot that I like, then I'll just mark where they are and drill them out, and then I can put the gauges in. But that's there's the extended dashboard, and that's what it looks like so far. A lot of work. Not a lot of hard work, just, you know, it just takes time to do. Just takes time to do. But it's coming along. Cool. Okay, I've got the little curved piece in here now. There's a gap, and it's flush this way. You can see I've got it all glassed in on the back side. So that's going to give me the little places in here to where I have to fill in. And I'll just fill. Now this is kind of wide, so I'll use chopped fiberglass mixed with some resin, and I'll just put a little bit in there. Like again, I won't fill the gap. I'll leave a little space on the tops for the gel coat to put over that, and then I'll sand that, and then we'll use a little Bondo for any other little imperfections. So that's basically the dash. There it is. Of course it's upside down right now, but I'm getting ready to go to work, so I thought I'd just glass that little piece in before I go to work, and then when I come home today it'll be all hardened, and I can work on it some more. Today being Sunday. Yes, I work weekends, and it sucks, but there it is. Cool. Well, here's the pieces bonded together. I just for this section here and along here and then up there, I mixed chopped fiberglass, which is this stuff here. This is what it looks like. It's just little flakes of chopped fiberglass. You mix that with resin. Mix a little bit of resin in a cup and a hardener. Get it really mixed up good. Then you add the chopped glass. And what I did was I laid it in there, and I was having a problem as far as, because this was such a very shallow channel, and this wasn't that deep either. I decided to fill it right to the edge with the mixture of the chopped glass and the resin, and then I kind of sanded it to be flush, and I think that's going to be okay, because I'll just end up using some Bondo filler and primer and everything over that. Then once I roughed it out with the sandpaper from the chopped glass and resin, I added, this is the stuff called micro balloons, and it looks like, I should get a little bit in here. It looks like just a dust, like a plastic dust. It's called micro balloons, and you mix same way. Take some resin, mix the hardener in there, and then add that. And what that turns into, it looks, here's some here. It's not even hardened yet. I just got done using it. You mix it till it gets a consistency of like Vaseline. All right. And then what I did was I filled the very narrow and very small channels over there and over here, and then I just kind of ran it along here with the Bondo spreader just to fill up any small pinholes, and along there. And then I did some in here and some in here. Now that's basically, it's like making your own homemade Bondo, except you're not using any talcum powder. It's just the plastic micro balloons. So I'm going to let this harden overnight, and tomorrow I'll come and I'll start to do some fine sanding and see what I've got, and then I'll do a skin coat of Bondo over that, and the dash should be done. As far as assembling the pieces, now I just bolt it to the body and make sure it all fits, and trim anything on the body that I welded in around the windshield frame if it's interfering with it. I'll trim it and get it to fit good. And then what I'm thinking of doing is just getting some little pieces of cardboard, cut the round shape, same size as the gauges. And I'll have this bolted into the car, and I'll sit down in the seat with the steering wheel and everything, and I'll move the cardboard pieces around, you know, probably just tape them on just to see where I want the gauges to be. Then when I find the spots that I like, I'll mark them on the dash, drill them out with a hole saw, and the gauges will be set. They'll, you know, they'll have their spot where they're going to be, and the holes will be drilled, and then I can finish doing any body work on this thing, you know, primer, sanding, painting, whatever it needs, and that'll get another section of this car done. So it came out pretty good, not bad. All right, cool.